March means two things: spring and birthday month. It also, unfortunately, this year is another month of unemployment budgeting, which is very frustrating. I just got off the phone with the unemployment office because they called me as I was about to turn the camera on to film this. So I'm so irritated right now, but let's just get into this. Google Sheets, here we go. We always start with income at the top. And March is going to be month 2 on unemployment for me, so W-2 income is going to be a big fat 0. By the way, I forgot to update you guys on Tuesday. I am furloughed for up to 90 days with my employer's need for me reevaluated every 30 days, and it has been 30 days. I think Friday, late afternoon, I got an email just saying, we don't need you at this time. We're going to extend your furlough another 30 days. So here we go, another 30 days. Even if I somehow get a job very soon, it's still like, that's a time process too, right? So we're just guessing we're going to be on unemployment for the whole month of March, which they so far have been paying my benefits weekly, every week on Wednesdays. I also just got off the phone with them, so she must be reviewing my account right now. But whatever, I should get 4 weekly unemployment benefit checks for the month of March. I am allowed my state maximum, which is $427 a week, which comes out to $1,708 a month. Fun fact, and the reason why they just called me is I'm only going to be getting $1,438 in the month of March. That is because they straight up are subtracting my YouTube payout dollar for dollar. So because I just got paid that last week on the 21st, and this week is when I report my unemployment benefit, like weekly job search activities for the week prior, and any money I made the last week. And I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm not trying to be sneaky. So obviously I told them about my YouTube income and the dollar amount. And so that was the phone call. They just called to verify that the lady had no idea what it was. So I had to explain. But anyway, they dollar for dollar subtract that amount. And I was like, really? And I had called the hotline, the like state unemployment hotline, a couple weeks ago to ask that question. Told me the same thing, but I was like, that can't be true, because that like totally decentivizes me from wanting to go, pick up delivering food or Instacart or something. Instacart or something, like any kind of extra work to try to make up the difference, since unemployment doesn't cover all of my monthly bills. Any extra, they're just going to subtract from my benefits for that week. That's so shitty. And she did say it depends on what the work is. It sounds like other types of work, they do a percentage. But yeah, like any kind of additional like side thing is like just a straight up dollar for dollar subtraction. So what the every dollar you guys have been giving me in the form of super thanks, like YouTube keeps their cut of that as well, but then the rest that comes to me is just going to be straight up subtracted from the unemployment benefit. So I guess maybe I wouldn't bother right now, which is like ridiculous to say out loud, because like I'm so appreciative and I was so like blown away by the way that you guys have showed up for me through YouTube, through watching my videos, going back watching old ones, letting the ads play, supporting me through the super thanks. I was so excited for that income. I was, as I told you guys, I was like, holy crap, you guys are helping me like make up the difference to cover my monthly bills and not have to dip into savings. And turns out I was wrong. How bullshit is that? I mean, I guess I get it, but that gives me zero incentive to want to go try and do other activities to try to bridge the gap. And the lady on the phone, she was like, I know, I understand, I'm sorry. And I was just like, regardless of what your income was before unemployment, and even though it doesn't meet all your monthly bills now, it doesn't matter. So irritating. Let's move on. Where were we? Right, next income, rental income. Yeah, as you guys know, my tenant moved out at the end of January. I am having some very expensive rent-ready repairs done. I don't know when anyone will be moving in conservatively, and I'll say not in March, and so $0. And YouTube, I only ever have a goal of meeting the $100 payout threshold, but I already, as of filming this, it's already $300 for the month of February, which will get paid out in March, which I'll have to report and subtract from my unemployment. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys so very much. I'm still blown away for the support that you guys have been showing me, and that's so cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then support. I don't have any expectation for, but there are some of you that generously gift to me, and you guys are friggin' amazing. But yeah, so income goal, I guess it's gonna be about $1,700. Yeah, I didn't calculate something right there, because either way, 1708 is just gonna be what it's gonna be, because they won't let me make more than that. Expenses. My biggest expense, of course, is rent. $1,555, which is not bad. Health insurance. Again, I was told I was gonna have to pay $390 something for this every month during this furlough to maintain my employer-sponsored health benefits. But then I found out that was inaccurate information, so I don't know. I think it's $0, but we'll see what happens. Electricity, that's usually $60 a month. Internet's always $65. Mohila, student loans, $0 during this time. Gym, $15. Netflix is $22.99. Food, and both of those, yes, if things get bad, both of those are the next items to go because they are not necessary. Food and household, I am probably going to keep going with this whole freezer and pantry clean out stitch, because that also feels very similar to just saving money all around. So generally recommended for unemployment times. So I've been doing pretty good. Been eating through a good chunk of things in the cupboard and keeping my butt out of the grocery store. So keeping my food budget low. But it's still, I think it's going to be like $100 that I've spent on food for February. So for March, I'm just going to say 150, because I also do need to get all of my laundry detergent making items, because I'm out of all of 3. So that'll be a little bit extra expense. So I'll just 150. Gas and car wash, what did I say? $50. Yeah. Obviously, I'm trying not to drive out and about a lot. I'm not limiting myself too much, but I'm trying to stick close to home as I can. $50? We'll see. Pet supplies, also $50. We'll see. And investing and donating and saving are just not happening right now. Spending, I had been letting myself spend a few $100, like personal spending every month on things, but obviously not right now. And then March is, like I said, birthday month, so car registration and that kind of annual stuff. I think it's gonna maybe be $400. I don't really know exactly. My car is a few years old, 4 years old at this point. But I think it was about $400 last year, so it'll be a little bit less. So, expenses of about $2,300, income of about $1,700. Oh, however, I did almost forgot. didn't put a line in for it, but like some of you had pointed out on my February budget, I can use the interest that my high yield savings account, that my student loan savings is sitting in. That account grew by about $130 last month, so it should grow about that same amount this month since I'm not adding to it or taking from it yet. So it's sitting at 4.6% APY right now, which also reminds me, one of you commented the other day that my SoFi link was no longer active, so I'm very sorry about that. If you guys are interested in a high yield savings account right now and are looking for one, I am enjoying SoFi. I've have zero complaints about it, and 4.6% APY is pretty dang good. I did update the link, so it should be working now, so I apologize. Yeah, so that is an additional $130-ish that is incoming. Of course, the car registration. I do have a sinking fund for those annual expenses and the car expenses, so I can pull from that if needed. A second month of unemployment doesn't feel so great, but you guys know I'm just trying to work through, like, it's just the mentality of work, and it's like your work is your worth as a human, and just trying to work through all of that and try to let go of that and not let unemployment like impact my mental health. I mean, yeah, it's gonna have its ups and downs, obviously. The job market's very bleak right now. That's not fun. That's not a warm fuzzy, but it's just a fact of reality. I know I'm not the only one feeling that. I know I say that every time, but I feel like every time I open YouTube, there's another video of like what the F's going on with the economy, with the jobs, and all the, like, now they're calling it employer ghosting happening nowadays, which I'm very much seeing. Just companies not even necessarily actively hiring, but just putting posts out there. And so people are applying to jobs and just never hearing back. And that's so accurate. I would say I've even just a thank you for applying email, that seems to be incredibly rare nowadays. So it's just, you know, it's feeling almost as ghosty as the dating world, which is like, oh dear. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, but trying to remain optimistic. I feel good things coming. I know I keep saying that, and no idea of how to explain why I feel that way when everything kind of feels a little bit bleak, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a mental and emotional up and down. Mostly up. We're good. Everything's good. But it'd be nice if the, you know, interviews would trickle in a little bit more, a little bit faster. Yikes. I don't know, y'all. Hang in there. We'll get through this. We, I mean you and I, mister. Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He lives rent-free.